Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I'm here with a preview of some stuff I want to show you that I'm going to be covering up soon. Now, obviously, I love Warlord games. I've talked about them plenty of times before. I've covered Bolt Action, and I have covered Blood Red Skies previously. But some things have been changed up. And a friend of mine there with Warlord was nice enough to send me a few items that you see out before you and asked me to give them a go over and all that good stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just showing you the stuff now. But I've got a cool idea for a scenario that I'm going to play up once I get this stuff finished being painted and a few other videos finished of preview copies, review copies that were sent to me ahead of this one. One of the things I was most excited about getting, though, was this. So these are the new rules for the Blood Red Skies game, right? Air combat, similar to kind of like X-Wing or, the Age of Dogfights or that other one I can't remember, the Wings of Glory. Actually, I wonder if Wings of Glory is same scale. I think Wings of Glory is just a touch bigger, but I think these planes are right at the same size. I'll have to actually look into that. Anyway, going to be covering that, and these are the kind of expanded rules to the game. And in the front and the back, they've got some extra target cards here on a foldable flap that shows you like ground targets or naval targets, things like that. And that's what I'm very excited about trying out, because I've got an idea for a naval mission, since this is the Battle of Midway box, right? And there's some extra expansions there I'm going to show you guys. But the key thing, the main rules of the game I've covered. Some stuff has changed a little bit, but most of the stuff I covered previously is still the same. Where was it? What page were we on? Oh, no, I can't find it. But it looks like they had updated some of the components, like the maneuver templates. I'd seen it right here at the beginning, and now I can't find the page I'm looking for. Maneuver templates, turning templates, things like that seem to have changed a little bit, and I was looking forward to that. But here we go. Air attacking ground and sea targets. This was new, and I looked through this, and I couldn't find these specific rules in there. There's some stuff that's close for some scenarios, but this really gets in depth on some more specific missions you can do going after targets. So I've got an idea about some torpedo runs, some dive bomber missions, going after some Imperial Japanese naval ships. That's an idea for a scenario that we're going to play out once I get these all painted up and looking good. I'm gonna have to figure out what type of paint scheme I want to do for the Zeros and the Wildcats and Bearcats I'm going to be doing for that. But yes, I definitely like this new rulebook because it's got a whole bunch of scenarios in it covering a whole lot of different types of aircraft and types of battle, and then some expanded rules, and again, the extra cards there in the front and back, and we've got a little quick reference right here on the back. So this one, definitely excited to be giving a look at, and that's why I'm not worried about showing the base rulebook that comes with this. Now I have opened up the box already, and you'll notice a good chunk of the planes are missing, and that's because I went ahead and pulled these out and I was getting them primed. We've got 6 of the Zeros and 6 of the F4F Wildcats. So here's a couple of Zeros. Let you guys get a close look at them. And they're resin, but they're that sturdier resin. So the type that you can drop and bang around a little bit without having to worry about breaking. But nice little minis. And of course, they've got the, I can get it to zoom in there, notch at the bottom where you're going to put it in its advantaged, disadvantaged flying pegs. And here are our F4Fs. Also just primed in a basic white. They're gray otherwise, just a little plain color. But with little minis like this, you got to paint them. Doesn't matter if you're a crappy painter like me, you still got to paint them. Try to make them look as good as possible. And included with that are some, and I'm going to touch on those here in a sec. We do have stickers and decals. So if you're like me and you're crappy with decals, you do have stickers. And if you can do decals, speaking of which, if you got any suggestions for how to do decals, I have never done a decal, but I so want to do them. Feel free to put it down in the comments and let me know, because I am the decals will look so much better. They'll be flush, they'll be nice and clean, and the stickers will work, but the decals will look better. Then you got all these extra little bits that can be added. I've just never done decals before, but we do have both of those that we can try out. And this is something he included that I am looking forward to trying out. And these are some 3D printed items, the ones that's here in the bubble wrap. So it doesn't come with the base game itself. And that is something I always like seeing from a company, is when they're not intimidated by 3D printing, right? By new technologies that come along. Because like, think about Games Workshop. They suck balls. They attack the reviewers. They attack people who 3D print. They attack everyone who's not them. They're a horrible company in the way they do stuff. This company sends me planes that they have 3D printed to try out. So speaking of that, they sent me a whole bunch of these little extra 3D printed ones, and nice little bubble wrap they don't have to worry about breaking. Got a couple examples over here. One of these is 3D printed. Come on, focus for me. One of these is 3D printed, and one of these is from the expansion pack. And the only way you can tell which one is 3D printed is it has more detail. Look at that. This one actually shows the pilots in there. So it's got the pilot up front and then the rear little gunner right there. But both of these are the same plane. This one is the one that comes in that expansion pack. I'm going to show you guys here in a sec. And it's got a little notch here for a torpedo that can be added into the bottom. And this one has a same little groove, so you can attach that, the torpedo, not bomb, actually, that gets attached to it. Really, really, really cool stuff. Definitely looking forward to trying these out. But once you get them primed and painted, you can't tell the difference. And the company isn't intimidated by people who are able to print these things out. And look at that. You can't tell. You can't tell. And if I don't tell you, you don't know. That's how good 3D printing has got. Now, I do have to say, though, if you have not 3D printed, one thing you do have to keep in mind is that these planes that are 3D printed, come on, focus in for me. This one is more fragile. So if you 3D print something, you have to be more careful with it. The tails or the wings are much easier to break off, and it's just the type of resin that's used to produce something like this versus the ones that are used to produce something like this. So other stuff that comes in the box, we've got our nice little Warlord packaged for you by Morella. Hope I'm saying that right. Thank you, Morella. And our dice, which are our custom D6, which Mo and Cav know I love so much, because we got to have some custom D6, which you guys will see. If again, you can watch my previous playthrough video to see how it works. And if you don't want to wait, otherwise you can wait until I have my next video up. And then these are the stands for the aircraft. 12 come in this one, and then you get 6 with each one of the expansions. And the key thing with these is the fact that they bend, right? So the way it works is your plane's either advantaged, neutral, or disadvantaged if it's pointing down. And that has to do with trying to dogfight. So you're trying to get effectively above your opponent, coming in from behind. These stands, that's how that's represented with your aircraft on how they're coming in. Our big cards are our stats, and I was actually pleasantly surprised. They have more cards in here, and these actually feel like nicer cards than the ones they used previously. I wonder if they've updated the card stock they use for these. But it's not just the aircraft that came in the box. They've got other stuff too. Like the Dauntless isn't in this box, but I've got the card for it. Comes in the box. I was really happy about that. So the SBD Dauntless and the TBD Devastator. So this one's the torpedo and this is the dive bomber. So we got both of those, and these are so thick I'm trying to make sure that I'm not having 2 cards in my hand. The Zero, which is the basic ones that come in here, and then the Val, I think, is their torpedo version. Nope, must be their dive bomber version. Some historical guys getting mad at me. Yeah, the Nakajima is their version of a torpedo plane. So I only have zeros. So for my my little playthrough, I'm thinking about doing maybe 6 zeros versus a couple of Bearcats and some dive bombers and torpedo bombers, something along those lines. We'll see what it is. And then this is our other basic aircraft that comes in the box, the F4F Wildcat. So just looking at the quick stat differences, you can see that the Wildcat has better guns. It has better firepower, that top number. The 0 is a lot more maneuverable with that 3 versus the Wildcat's 1. And it's a touch faster. That's what the bottom stats are referring to there. So the Wildcat is worse in every way except for guns. If they can get behind the 0, they can blow it out. And that is a good representation because the 0 had okay weaponry at the start of it, but not the best. And they had no armor, so they got blown away pretty easily. These small cards, I'm not going to bother to open, but these have a lot of different uses in the game. We have trait cards, we have pilot cards, we have, I think, what they call doctrine cards. A lot of things that can be used during your game to change the layout of stuff. Really cool to include into your game. And then underneath our nice tray, which I always love it when they do that because it makes it so much easier to use. This, I swear to God, it's new. I don't remember this being included in the previous game. I swear it was not. This just all feels new to me. And this is so nice too. These should be the range templates, the firing at your opponent, movement templates. And this has got to be new because I don't remember them being this nice. This is a very nice upgrade because this is plastic. This is acrylic. This is not cardboard. This is a nice change. Turning templates, that's what those are. I'm not sure what these are. Must be used to represent something, some type of dive bomb maybe. I'm not sure. Looks like we've got 2 maneuver templates, a shorter one and a longer one, and then just one firing template there. And some bombs, or those torpedoes. I think these get glued together, maybe, because it's only the half of it. So I would assume you would glue those together. I'll have to check that out, see how those are going to be used. Very, very, very nice inclusion there. Now, I think their other one did come with a paper mat as a play surface, but I don't think this one is. Oh, look at those. That's so cool. Wait, I remember they had these before, the cutouts for some of the other aircraft to be used, but they didn't have the naval planes. That's really awesome. I like that. Think of these as like the tokens you would put on your aircraft for, or your spaceships for X-Wing. They denote like pilot level, right? It gives you your quadrants for your fire, left, front, rear, all that good stuff. These are the tokens you don't want to get. I can never remember. For some reason with this game, I could never remember what they're called. I think they're called boom chits, if I remember right. But you don't want to get these because that means you're losing the game. And I think these are your maneuver tokens. And of course, we've got our clouds, which there are rules for coming in and out of clouds. And yeah, I don't think we get a paper mat on this one. And this, look at that. That's cool. I like that. It is top and bottom on those things. We got plus and minuses. These are new. I don't remember these before. And I do not believe that the older version of it came with ships. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not remember them coming with ships. They came with these. These are basically cardboard versions, like I said, of the regular planes. So instead of using the model, if you don't have it, this could represent the dive bomber or the Val torpedo, or not the torpedo, the Val dive bomber, or that whatever torpedo bomber the Japanese have. Can't remember the name of it. And then, always love that target drop bomb here for good times. A couple of aircraft carriers, maybe some battleships, cruisers, and then maybe with these frigate and some destroyers here as targets. Really cool. I love the inclusion of those. That is nice to have in here. But like I said, y'all let me know if I'm wrong. I don't believe those were in the previous versions of the box set, but I could be wrong. Like I said, though, I got something else I'm going to use. You guys stay tuned for that. It's going to be really cool. And then we have, should be a couple of quick reference sheets. Yep. For the game itself, shoot, burn advantage, move, and pilot action, which can be shoot again. So if you do it right, you can shoot a couple of times. And then how to do certain things like your shooting test, dodging test, results, end of activation. And then a nice little quick reference on how it works for movement. Oh, I see. You can use the maneuver templates together. I like that. and then firing solutions, all that cool stuff. So definitely nice inclusion. I think in the previous versions it did come with like a little paper mat that you could use. Doesn't matter, I've got a big C map I'm going to be using anyway, a neoprene mat, but I could be wrong on that one. All right, and to show you guys these, I left a couple of aircraft in here that I did not prime yet, just so you guys could see what they look like. These are the F6F Hellcats, so the improved version of the Wildcat. So the F4F went to the F6F. And I heard some stories that the Japanese didn't recognize it as a new fighter at first. It's just a little bit bigger. And grab, you guys can see there that the F4F's just a little bit smaller than this one. And the Japanese were used to having a more powerful engine than the Americans did until this thing started showing up, which could overpower the engine of the Japanese. And they would climb up and they would expect the Americans to stall out, at which point they'd drop back in behind them and, take them out. Couldn't do that with the F6F, and they started getting blown out of the sky. But this is the base color that they come in. Same for the bombers over here. I'm not sure what the Japanese ones come with, but they do come with a sheet that has all of your little pilot tokens, some more boom chits, little wing chits, and the cards for the aircraft. And then you guys can see a bunch more stands. That is nice, so you can keep expanding your game, have as many aircraft in there as you want. And it looks like we got some more decals in here as well. Just to show you the cards that are included, this looks like some type of decal. You guys let me know, what is that, a water press on or something like that? I haven't used one that looks like this before. I'm thinking it's another water type decal applicator. I have to take a look at that. Bunch of the small play cards. Sorry, I'm using a new phone camera, so it's messing with me. A bunch of little cards that we can add to it, and I believe that is the doctrine card. Yeah, so it's doctor. But the cool part is the stats on this thing you can see are a lot different than that F4F, as this one has the same firepower, but it's more maneuverable. It's not as maneuverable as a Zero, but it is more maneuverable enough to stay in the fight, and it's faster. So that's what caught them by surprise. The F4F has the 6 speed, Zero had the 7, and now this one's got the 8. So I was thinking to even things out when I do my little scenario, I'll have something like 2 to 4 of those versus 6 of the Zeros. See how that plays out. But we are also going to be including these Douglas die bombers. Let me pull out the cards to show you guys what the stats on these guys are. And again, some more cards, decals that come with this. But we have the Devastator, and it should be the Dauntless. Yep, that both get included. But these are slow and not very maneuverable. They have the trait of sluggish, but again, does have that turret, so they get to fire to the rear, which is going to be something new for me to try. This one had no firepower to the front, 1 maneuverability, 4 speed, not good. This is, yeah, I heard the torpedo ones did not do good at the start of the war. Die bomber, a little bit better, at least has some guns in the front, still not very maneuverable, but a touch faster. So I'm thinking, I don't know how I'm going to play this out. Maybe a dive bomber or a torpedo plane and a couple of dive bombers and maybe 3 Hellcats versus 6 Zeros. Something along those lines. See how the Americans do. But in all of this, I haven't showed you one of the things that I am actually the most excited about, and that was the fact that they had included some paints that I had never tried before. They include a little handful of these. And it's by a company called Blue Falcon Paints. And the coolest part about this, let me find one that's got the writing legible. See, it says Midway Blue, Blue Gray, and it's U.S. Navy, USMC. So one of my hardest problems was always trying to match the colors. And this has it right there. It says which one is Imperial Japanese Navy, which one is, yeah, like this one. This is the black for the Japanese. I think we got another one over here that was Japanese. Yep. This gray green the Japanese had. So when I'm painting up these planes, I'm going to be using these colors that they sent me. That way I can actually match them up. And like I said, I haven't used these guys before. Coolest thing, listen to this. They actually include the paints have the little shaker in there, so I don't have to worry about adding those things after the fact, which is really nice. Now these are supposed to be able to be used either with a brush or through a regular airbrush, so thin enough, and you can hear it in it. I don't know if how experienced you guys are with your paints, but being able to shake the little bead in there and be able to get it to move that easily means the viscosity should be right, that I should be able to drip this in and probably water it down, not water it down, I've got a thinner, but thin it down just a touch, I think, more to be used. Supposedly you can use it straight from it. I like to have it just a little bit thinner, so I do nice thin coats with it. You want to have your airbrush paint pretty much the consistency of milk when you're spraying it out of it. This is just a little bit thicker than that, but it's close. And I love the fact that the paints are going to be matched and I can nail it right to the planes I'm going to be painting. So what I'll do is film just a quick video when I airbrush with some of these, let you guys see how well they work, and then try brushing it on as well and see how that works out. And the paints are actually a good price. These are the regular 17 ml bottles. If you've bought any of these model type paints before, you know how expensive they can get. GW, again, I'm going to shit on them because they're a shit ass company, and they charge anywhere between $7 and $8 for a bottle of paint this much that's not even in a dropper. So these guys, Blue Falcon, I went and checked out their website. You can order them individually for, I think it's $4, or you can get bundles of them that comes out to about $3 a piece. And anything on these $3 under is always definitely a good price. They've bumped up here, you know, thanks to COVID and all the other bullcrap going on. But $3 for a little 17 mil thing of paint is a fair price. So definitely check them out. Blue Falcon. I can't rate the paint yet, but I'm happy with what I've seen thus far and the fact that it's already got a little mixer ball in there. They are sealed. If I can get you guys to see that, there is a plastic seal on there so you know it's brand new when you get it. That's very nice as well. And again, I'm just tickled because it's already matched for me. I know what color I need to grab. I know, like this dark blue here, I'm going to be using on these Hellcats. I'm definitely looking forward to trying this out. All right, that's the stuff for Blood Red Skies. Definitely looking forward to it. You guys stay tuned. It will be a couple of weeks before I am able to get to this because, like I said, I've got a whole lot of crap in front of it. It's just the way publishers work. They always send all their stuff all at once. But I am definitely looking forward to trying this out. And like I said, I've got a little surprise I'm going to show you guys when it comes to the Japanese naval targets that they're going to be going after. So you guys stay tuned to check that out. Another small company that I want to take and support. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Y'all take care. I'll catch you in the next one.